Now, I just read a story that took me kind of by surprise here a few hours ago, and I really wanted to get on here and talk to you guys about it. I want to know what you guys think of this. Now, it appears that last night they had a late night vote that was supposed to be to let Jewish people vote. That way they didn't have to violate their Sabbath. Now, this is the thing. We all know that in this country you cannot discriminate against people for religion, race, age. And basically what happened is it's okay if they wanted to hold a late night vote to allow the Jewish people to come. That way they didn't violate. I don't see a problem with that, but you shouldn't be allowed to turn anybody away that comes to that vote. You know, because maybe some people said, well, I didn't have a Sabbath, but I had to pick my kid up from daycare. They had some other issues. So basically what happened is the GOP held this late night vote in Las Vegas, which is Clark County, by the way, which is important. I'll tell you why later. Basically, so they held this special late night vote, and a lot of Ron Paul supporters showed up. A lot more than they was anticipating. And they were trying to figure out how to get rid of the Ron Paul supporters, is basically what it sounds like to me from all the stories I've read, about 3 or 4 different stories on this. So they concocted this little litmus test to prove that you were Jewish and you should be allowed to vote in that late night vote. And they was trying to make Ron Paul supporters sign a piece of paper that basically said they were Jewish. What the fuck, GOP? You can't do that. Are you crazy? I believe they've just violated every Ron Paul supporter's civil right. I'm pretty sure this is a civil rights issue. Not only is it a civil rights issue, it's a constitutional issue. You can't turn somebody away from voting if you're holding a public voting. You're not allowed to turn anybody away because they're not the right religion. I mean, could you imagine if somebody showed up and they said, oh, I'm sorry, this is blacks only, or this is Christian only voting, this is Muslim only voting here. I mean, that would be crazy. You couldn't do that in the United States of America. So I believe the GOP has just gotten themselves in quite a bit of trouble over this one. It all depends if Ron Paul's campaign wants to push it or not. Now, this is the thing. Ron Paul ended up winning this thing basically by a 3-to-1 margin. This late night vote that was actually Newt Gingrich people that were pushing for, because a lot of Jewish people support Newt Gingrich. It gets all really complicated. But Ron Paul, all the people were so excited about Ron Paul in Clark County, they showed up at the late night vote. And basically they beat Romney and Newt Gingrich by about a 3-to-1 margin. Ron Paul ended up with about 180 votes. That's with them trying to turn people away at the door. And I think they may have actually even turned some people away that wouldn't sign the paper, which is absolutely insane. Ron Paul supporters should be up in arms about this. I have a camel in my room.
Just waiting on the dog to get done drinking water. I apologize. Pepsi! Little Pepsi! Pepsi! Come here! You gotta listen to, what's his name? Mark Levine. He's got all kinds of dogs. He loves his dogs. I love my dogs too. And, you know, I think that's the most liberal part of Mark Levine, is the fact that he's got his dogs. Are you done, Camel?
Good. I completely lost my train of thought. I have no idea where I was at. I hope the Ron Paul campaign makes a big deal out of this, because it'll give us leverage in the future to deal with the GOP officials, which try to cut us off at every turn that they possibly can. I believe people's civil rights were violated. I believe constitutionally it was wrong, and I believe some people's constitutional rights were violated. I want to know what you guys think about this. I mean, because this is actually insane, and the media is not covering it that way. They're covering it from the GOP's point of view, like, oh, well, it was for Jewish people, and Ron Paul supporters showed up to ruin it for everyone. And besides, if you are Jewish, do you really want to have to sign a paper to prove that you're Jewish? I mean, that's insane. You shouldn't have to sign a paper to prove your religion in this country. GOP, I believe you fucked up. I think you fucked up big. And shame on you. This is the kind of shit that you accuse Obama of. And, you know, war on religion and this and that. And then you're going to go and you're going to make people sign a paper to prove that they're Jewish to vote? Are you fucking kidding me in the United States of America? I expect, and I demand, and I hope Ron Paul does too, a public apology from the GOP on this. This shit is wrong. And if you don't apologize publicly, I hope they push the issue, and I hope they take you to courts for a civil rights violation. Okay, sorry, I've ranted enough. I want to know what you guys think. If you haven't already, subscribe and like this. We've got to let people know about the fraud that's going on. One more thing. I hate to keep bringing this up, but this is important. The reason it was important that Ron Paul won this late night vote, that basically people had to get up out of bed, you know, whatever, and come to his late night vote at a 3-to-1 margin, is because in the same county during the daytime, supposedly, Romney beat Ron Paul by a 2-to-1 margin. Very suspicious, don't you think? That this late night vote where everything was real transparent, Ron Paul beats Romney by 3-to-1 and Gingrich by 3-to-1. But yet in the county during the daytime when it's much easier to vote, Romney and Newt Gingrich both beat Ron Paul. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Romney beat Ron Paul by 2-to-1 during the daytime vote. Nighttime, a lot harder to get there, and Ron Paul beats Romney and Gingrich by 3-to-1. Think about it. Something's really fishy here. And here we are at almost noon the next day, and the count's not even done in Clark County, where the shenanigans are going on. So, watch it, guys. Watch it good. Lawless out.